Watch this. So this is a bobcat, and they actually rely on patience and stealth much more than they do speed. Even though they are pretty quick animals, they're just like any other cat species, and they just rely on that stealth and that stalking up on prey more than really anything. And as you can see in this clip, especially at the beginning, the way that cat is moving, he's being as slow and as stealthy and as methodical as he can be, and it ends up paying off. And that's how a lot of their hunts, especially their successful hunts, end up being. And these birds that are feeding on the ground, those are very vulnerable for prey. And that's what this bobcat is actually preying on, is those low-lying or even the birds that actually feed on the ground. And a lot of the reason is because if you think about it, when that bobcat starts sprinting up to these birds, if that bird is angled in a certain way, like if that bird is angled towards him and his head is actually towards the bobcat, it's either going to take a second for that bird to spin around and then fly away, or when it starts flying, it's actually going to be flying at the bobcat, which allows for that bobcat to have an angle to grab that bird, because they're not just going to take off vertically, they're going to be kind of at a horizontal takeoff flight, and that just allows that bobcat to have that much more time to grab that bird. So these are very smart animals, and I've been lucky enough to where I live to see some just every now and then while I'm in the woods. It is a very rare thing to see, at least where I live, so that's why every time when I'm hunting, like for whitetails or whatever, and I see a bobcat, it's an extra special hunt just because they're very rare, one, and two, they're very pretty animals, and the way they move, if you see them in person, of how quiet and stealthily they move, it makes for a very, very fun thing to watch.